First referee, Miss Jocelyn.
Second referee, Mr. Irish Santos, national referee.
Let us welcome our starters from our VNS 1 Alicia Griffins. Team captain wears jersey number 13, John Benedict San Andres. At number 2, Ronier Adviento. Wearing jersey number 6, Kim Malabunga. At number 10, Uriel Mendoza. Number 14, Esmilzo Polvorosa. And number 16, Kevin Montemayor. Libero, number 4, John Joshua Cruz. Head coach, Mr. Ralph Ocampo. Calling on our PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Team captain wears jersey number 16, Gregorio Dolor, apprentice seaman. At number 1, Joshua Umandal. Wearing jersey number 5, EJ Casanya. At number 13, Roniel Rosales. Number 15, Peter Kiel. And number 20, Christian Marcelino. Head coach, Petty Officer 3, Cecil Cruzada. This is match number 17, preliminary round. May the best team win.
We're back and you're still watching the 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference. The starting lineup on your screens. We got Ron Adviento, Kim Malabunga, Yong Mendoza, Ben San Andres, Ish Polvorosa, Kevin Montemayor, and Owa Cruz. Familiar faces that we've been seeing for VNS. And moving on to the side of the PGJC, Navy Sea Lions, we have Jao Omandal, EJ Casanya, Ron Rosales, Peter Kiel, Greg Dolor, Chan Marcelino, and Jack Kalinki.
It's the same names for the VNS 1 Alicia Griffins, but there's one minor change. Magka-diagonal na ngayon si Ben San Andres and Kevin Montemayor. Sometimes sabay sila sa front line, but looks like hiniwalay muna ni Coach Ralph Ocampo so that he can get both players in the best of their abilities in terms of scoring for the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. It's the same lineup that they fielded in against that Signal HD
That impressive
Spikers.
game against Signal HD Spikers. And here we go, set number 1. Greg Dolor, he gets the early point here for Navy. And I said this in the pregame a while ago, Neil, masaya itong Navy team because they are a shoo-in for our semifinals. And they did so by beating Signal, the formerly undefeated Signal HD Spikers, who had not even dropped a single set in our conference.
It's going to be a very good build-up towards that semifinals round for the Sea Lions. For VNS, they will have 2 chances to crack that last ticket. If they win against Navy today, definitely they would enter. But if they lose today and they end up winning against Army Katinko, they will still enter the next round.
Take a look at that. Kim Malabunga starting off hot here in set number 1. Good performance from him in their game against NU. But sabi mo nga kanina that there's more to see, hopefully, from him. And that will be a point for VNS.
VNS getting their first block point against Greg Dolor. And ito yung 1-2 punch ng Navy Sea Lions. Greg Dolor and Jao Mandal on opposite sides of the court.
Right now, we are 2-1 in favor of VNS. So early lead for this team. Ish Polvorosa will serve. They give it to Omandal. Chance here for VNS. San Andres from the back. No go. Lorenzo babalik kay Umandal. That is a point.
Umandal continuing his scoring ways. He's the best scorer right now in the Spikers Turf. Efficiency attacker in this entire tournament.
And he is fired up in today's game. They are sitting pretty in the semifinals, but of course, if you're Navy, you want to close out this prelim strong. That's what I'm talking about. Jao Mandal again.
Back-to-back points. Signature sharp cross for the tank. Ngayon lang natin nakita yung consistency here in the Spikers Turf.
And we already know that Jao Mandal is such an effective player, so talented. Pero grabe yung pinapakita niya, Neil, dito sa ating Open Conference. Pero sasagot naman ang VNS.
Mendoza will get his second point of the ball game. Last game nila against NU, he only scored 2 points, and that clearly wasn't enough to help his team extend that match to a 4th set.
Well, you need all the help that you can get if you're from VNS, because you want to end it, or you want to enter the semis today rather than prolonging the wait.
And if they end up losing this game against the Sea Lions and they lose against Army Katinko, that will provide the lower seeded teams
Absolutely.
that opportunity
And you don't
na
want that.
magtay pa. And you don't want any complications or technicalities pagdating sa computation.
And that's why this is going to be a very interesting game for both our squads. That is a point for Navy. We are now tied 4-all. Team captain Greg Dolor, double digits for him in their previous game against Signal. Actually, 4 players from Navy had double digits in that game.
That's why you also have to credit the efforts of their young setter,
Yes.
EJ Casanya. Incoming pala to, maglalaro sa UAAP for the De La Salle.
Imagine he's still in college.
He is still in college.
And of course, you gotta credit Vince Lorenzo as well. The reception from him also, he's been really steady in that department. That is a service ace for Montemayor.
Great start for VNS1 Alicia here in this first frame. This was a similar start dun sa game nila against NU. They were able to establish a 5-point lead early on. Yun nga lang, pagdating sa dulo, nawala yung composure ng VNS.
And that's what matters the most, Neil, yung composure mo in the end games or end set in terms of volleyball. 1 point na lang ang lamang ng VNS kontra Navy.
Rosales going to that slide attack. Now, EJ Casanya will always identify yung pinakamahanap ng advantage in terms of the blocking pattern of VNS. Right now, Ben Sanandres is the shortest on the floor, so it makes sense na pupunta siya sa mga slide attacks for Rosales.
And that's why we like yung intelligence itong si EJ Casanya. He's been so effective for his team, also been rock solid for his team as well. 2-point lead again for VNS. Young Mendoza will serve 7, serving 5. Good dig. And that is still a point for VNS. Navy trying to contest that. Confused look on their faces, but the call stays as we go to our first technical timeout. VNS in the lead 8-5.
one of the things that I noticed Billy sa VNS in their previous game, okay sila in terms of attacking. But yung blocking pattern nila, there's a tendency na maraming naiiwan na open spaces. Paminsan, hindi nakakahabol yung mga middles or hindi nako-close out yung mga proper gaps. That's why, and you just had a field day attacking their defense.
Absolutely, and VNS right now, they're ranked 6 in terms of blocking in the whole league. Navy naman ranked 3rd. Of course, we know that NU is ranked 1st. Medyo malaki na yung lamang ng VNS against Navy in set number 1. Omandal, single block, Kim Malabunga.
That's what a Kim Malabunga can provide. Solid defense on him.
Absolutely, let's take a quick break. There's going to be a timeout called by Navy.
Kaya adjust tayo yung tao sa likod kasi zone 1 at saka yung dito lang. Kailangan nyo lang mag-communicate para magsigla kayo dyan. Para tayo, tara.
Tara. Let's go.
Isa lang.
Hey, Nini!
So Navy starting out a little bit slower than usual here in our game as we take a look at that monster block by Kim Malabunga.
Coach Cecil wants the players to actually adjust on the digging side of things. Dahil dalawa lang yung angulo na pinupuntahan ng mga wing hitters right now for VNS. It's that zone 1 area and that cross court.
EJ Casanya will serve. Polvorosa. Nabalik naman yung block. And of course, that was Peter Kiel. Also a good performance from him in their previous game. Also in double digits.
Every
Take a look
time
at
that Kim Malabunga is in the front line, Peter Kiel actually knows that there's a high chance na pupunta dun si Ish Polvorosa. Lalo na't dalawa lang yung options niya in this specific rotation. You only have Kim Malabunga and Ben San Andres. So it will be easier for PGJC Navy to actually read the attack. So this is where the back row and pipe attacks will play in for VNS.
That's what hopefully we can see in today's game. Polvorosa will go to Ben San Andres. And of course, the blocking of Navy on point here.
Total shutdown from the side of the Sea Lions. Time out, doing them wonders.
San Andres is absolutely covered in that sequence. Could not see the light of day. Here comes Greg Dolor. It is a block party, Neil, here in Paco.
He can do it too. Ben Andres with a solid block against Greg Dolor.
San Andres ever so feisty, one of the fan favorites here in our open conference. Also the team captain for VNS, and he will serve. Peter Kiel with a quick.
High clearance hit from Peter Kiel, identifying that corner pocket on the side of VNS. From 5 points.
They cut it
dalawa na
down to
lang.
just 2 points. That's Navy for you. Of course, they have that momentum coming into this game. Sky's the limit for this team. Polvorosa. Malabunga. We're starting off strong here.
That's the proper set for Ish Polvorosa. You have to keep on going to that slide attack for Kim Malabunga para mag-commit yung middle blocker doon. Di bali nang ma-double block si Kim Malabunga on this side of the wing. Kesa loaded na yung left wing hitter ng VNS.
3-point lead. They go to Jao Mandal.
Powerful hit from Jao Mandal.
Right on target. Let's take a look at that again. Good set by EJ Casanya. Here comes Jao. They need a good swing here. Chance for Navy. They go back to Omandal. Malabunga. Smart play. No go. Again, the blocks continue. He'll try again. It is effective the second time around.
Getting that check ball was Mendoza, and Peter Kiel was actually confused kung overhead or underhand ba niya kukunin yung dig na yon.
We are back to a 3-point lead. Much better showing for VNS. Casanya. That was Rosales. Greg Dolor will serve. Polvorosa. Montemayor gets it to go as we go to our second technical timeout. VNS still in the lead, 16-13.
Yung opener or sa kaliwa or nakabase. Diba? Kanina, nakasiksik sila dun sa opener. So, dapat yung biyak ni Kim saran. Okay, tignan nyo lang yun ha. Tignan nyo lang yun dun. Paano sila sila.
Yung blocking sila.
Guys, pag ganun,
Paikutin mo dito si, ano, si
yung
Kim.
position na ganun, guys, huwag nyo dalhin sa open yung receiver.
Welcome back to the game between the VNS1 Alicia Griffins and the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Now, before anything else, let's first turn it over to Ayana Perlas for her report. Go ahead, Ayana.
With the past 2 losses for the VNS Griffins, the coaching staff noticed 2 things: the lack of endgame composure and the focus on individual stats. Now, with these in mind, head coach Ralph De Ocampo focused on mental toughness and visualization training coming into today's match, and of course, more on team skills since individual stats should never be their focus.
What did you say about when pag lumalamang na yung kalaban, Neil?
Yeah, every time VNS establishes their own version of a lead, tapos makuha nung opponent nila yung momentum in terms of offense, that's the time na nawawala yon. And this is not something new for PGJC. In that 4th set against Signal, if I remember this correctly, Billy, they were down by 7 points, but still managed to get that set 25-23. So we know that once they block well and they attack well, kahit gaano pa kalaki kalamangan ng opponent, it will be easy for the Navy to come back.
So it's very, opposites for both our teams. On one hand, you have VNS na medyo nawawala ng composure sa dulo. Itong Navy naman, they keep their composure all throughout kahit na lumalamang yung kalaban nila. We have Pagulong joins his teammates on the court and he will serve. 3-point lead for VNS, make that a 4-point lead thanks to that service ace.
Pagulong getting an instant ace, and that's the job of a pinch server, to get 1 or 2 points in and provide the defense for your team.
Well, if you want that spot in the semis, every single point matters. Off the block, Chan Marcelino.
Initially, we thought that Navy would have a difficult time dahil wala si Joven de la Vega, dahil top scorer nga siya ng team na to. But when Marcelino came into that court against Signal HD, he was able to fire 14 points. And same, second top scorer pa rin.
So things going right here for Navy. 2 straight points for them. They cut the lead down to 2 points. This time a service ace for Navy. Nagsagutan lang. Polvorosa. Combination play. Benson Andres.
And these are the small nuances that can make the difference in the timing of your opponent's blocking. Take a look at this replay. It seemed like Benson Andres was going for a combination play from the middle, but he suddenly changes direction and goes to that left pin to get that point for VNS. It's a 3-point lead for the Griffins.
And so far, they have been leading here in our first set, which is always a good sign, pero magkakaalaman down the stretch. Great blocking there by San Andres. They need something here. Good cover. They find San Andres again. Great effort from Navy, but San Andres gets another one for his team.
Such a smart player. Just when you least expect it, Ben San Andres going on that full approach. Then last minute giving a soft touch.
4-point lead now. VNS with the advantage, and Kim Malabunga, and that's what we want to see from him.
It's the second block point for Kim Malabunga, if I'm not mistaken. One-on-one against Peter Kiel. Kim already knew that Kiel was going for that cross court on that
He was
quick play.
anticipating it. And that is off the block.
Still a good lead for the Griffins. They just need to exchange points.
San Andres again.
Just fearless. I mean, Billy, look at the height discrepancy, the height disparity between San Andres and Kiel. But he still managed to punch that through the double block of the Sea Lions. And Navy will be forced to call this timeout. VNS has a 5-point lead.
O sige, ayusin nyo yung laro nyo dyan sa second set, mag-rumble kami ng tao. Kung ayaw gumana dyan, magkuha kami sa sub ha. Ayusin natin kasi magra-rumble kami ng tao. Kung ganyan yung ano nyo dyan, magra-rumble kami ng tao. Ha? Tara, tara.
Back here in the Spikers Turf Open Conference, Billy Capistrano with Neil Flores and Ayana Perlas, our courtside reporter. Take a look at your screens, volleyball fans. VNS 22, PGJC Navy Sea Lions at 17. So far, so good for VNS. We got Kim Malabunga and Ben San Andres leading the way for them.
San Andres already has 6 points, 63% efficiency so far. And he also has 1 block.
And he will serve. Dolor will try. Great cross court from Greg Dolor. We expect nothing less from our team captain.
Ish Polvorosa couldn't do anything about that. Greg Dolor was just on top of that ball.
It's looking to be an exciting game for everybody here at the Paco Arena. Smart play by Ish Polvorosa.
Circa to his UAAP days, we saw a lot of that. Yung mga 1-2 play na yan because he's also a tall setter. So in a way, malawak yung sight niya dun sa court before he makes his decisions.
So he's got that advantage. And he will serve for VNS, 23 serving 18. To Amandal. They're gonna chase that. Chance here for Navy. Babalik kay Umandal.
Now when the left wings of the Sea Lions get their highest contact, kahit established pa yung double block ng VNS, hindi pa rin talaga sila nakakuha ng soft touch. Look at that. In between the blockers, high clearance.
Good cover by Navy. Back to Umandal. Again, that is too strong. Way off target for Zhao.
Now VNS is finally at set point.
We got some substitutions. Adviento coming in. Gonzalvo as well. And you can see, Neil, that VNS are hungry to reach the semis, and they can do so if they win this game. Umandal. Great defense there by VNS. Here comes Navy. And the block is good. And that is it for our set number 1, which will go to the VNS 1 Alicia Griffins. We got to take a look at that last play, the set ender.
Defense clicking for VNS at the right time.
More volleyball action when we return. Neil for VNS.
They didn't make any mistake dahil again they established an early 4-5 point lead against the Sea Lions, but this time they showed composure as they ended that first set. I was talking to Coach Ralph Ocampo earlier and he told me that one of the biggest factors that will be their key to victory in today's game would really be their blocking. And sobrang daming single block in that game against NU. It was like NU was having a free spiking drill nga, sabi niya. But this time around, their defense was just on point. They had 5 blocks in set number 1 and they managed to match the output of PGJC Navy in the attacking department, 13 apiece.
Well, take a look at that. Grabe yung block points ng VNS, and if you are a VNS fan, you would be very, very happy right now with how your team is playing. But let's talk about Navy, Neil. Yung fact that this isn't, you know, a game that has any difference or walang effect sa standings nila. I mean, in terms of placing in the semifinals, you think that has some kind of effect on them at this point?
Oh, definitely, because when you're playing a non-betting match, you tend to be more relaxed. But hopefully that set number 1 was already a wake-up call for PGJC Navy. Even though it's a non-betting, of course you wouldn't want to drop any match in the preliminaries.
You have Jao Omandal, and it looks like he will not be starting this set for Navy. Benson Andres, he is raring to go here in set number 2.
That was a surprising decision from Coach Cecil Cruzada. Umandal is currently the leading scorer for the Sea Lions at 5. Although medyo bumaba yung efficiency niya, 5 out of 12, that's just 42%. And he would always be hitting at the 60-65 percentage mark.
So we'll see how the adjustments will pan out here for Navy. Marcelino, they're gonna chase that. Something out of nothing, but that is too strong.
And these are the small adjustments na kailangan gawin ng mga attackers ng VNS when they are out of system at sobrang alanganin na ng set ni Ish Polvorosa. Sometimes you don't want to force the issue.
Marcelino will try again. Another attack error. We are tied at 1 point apiece in our set number 2. And for those who want to watch the second game, you're more than welcome to join us here at the Paco Arena Events and Sports Center. As we get back to this game, again, VNS just showing their prowess, their scoring abilities here in our second set.
That was the 4th point for Mendoza.
Look at him flying and getting that one. Polvorosa.
coming in the side of PGJC Navy. Defensively, they were slow in step number 1. Coverage wasn't there. Transition not as polished compared to their game against Signal. This time around, yung offense naman, yung medyo erratic for the Sea Lions. Now, EJ Casanya asking for 1 kill from their attackers, and they get it, courtesy of Peter Kiel.
And that was a one-hand set by EJ Casanya to Kiel. You can also feel the drop in their energy, talking about Navy as compared to their previous game. And Kim Malabunga continuing to shine here.
Distribution in terms of points on point right now for VNS. All of their attackers are working together in providing Coach Ralph Ocampo this 2-point lead early on, and that was what happened in set number 1. If ganyan ulit yung mangyayari here in set number 2, they can see themselves up by 2-0 against the Sea Lions.
But here come the Navy Sea Lions, care of Greg Dolor. Again, another one-hand set by EJ Casanya. Montemayor, single block. Greg Dolor, and he is feeling it. And they needed that, Neil. They needed that energy, that jolt of electricity, because the aura was kind of down early on here.
And Montemayor had a lot of space to actually go for a kill kasi single block lang, but Greg Dolor timed that very well.
They give it back to Dolor. Now it goes outside.
Now the first referee is just talking to the team captain.
I think it was about what happened in that play a while ago. They're asking
A yellow
for
card.
a call, but yes, a yellow card. But you know, with a game like this, also with a hungry team like VNS, you gotta keep your focus. Montemayor now 2 points. There was no whistle.
Montemayor was just too excited to serve that ball up. He forgot na may pito pa yung first
Who
referee.
would it be if your team's playing like this? Now he tries again. On time. Good serve. San Andres. Outside.
Trying to go off the hands of the blockers, but no check ball will be called.
We got a pretty good crowd as well here in Paco, Neil. Lots of people watching this game, supporting their idols.
And the fans are also excited for our second game, Billy. It's Ateneo going
It's
up
gonna be a
against
good one.
NU.
A
That
preview of the UAAP.
That has been the rivalry in collegiate men's volleyball in the past couple of years.
We get to
And
watch that here in the Spikers Turf Open Conference. So if you're in the area, if you still have time to make it, it's going to be a good one. We get back to this game first. 1-point lead for VNS. Dolor. And he's showing up big time for Navy. The team captain carrying his team on his back here.
And he is just unchallenged when he flies. Tingnan mo ang
Yung
taas,
elevation, grabe.
sobrang taas nung kuha niya above the hands of the double block of VNS. That's why he already has 7 points of 5 attacks and 2 blocks.
Greg Dolor out of FEU, one of the FEU greats, but wasn't able to get that one.
Ish Polvorosa has been going to a lot of reverse setting, and that is confusing the middle blockers of PGJC Navy right now.
And that's the issue we know. However, a service error will tie this game again, 7-all.
Coach Ralph Ocampo and assistant coach JP De Guzman on your screens.
Now, if you're VNS, you don't want to give Navy the chance to overpower you in the second set. Marcelino opts for a change. Good decision. As we go to our first technical timeout, Navy leads 8-7.
Diba? Kasi kung hindi tayo mag-a-adjust sa adjustment nila, dire-diretso sila. Adjust din tayo, ha? So, walang tayo gamitin
Guys,
lang
yung pag nag-serve si Rosales, si Marcelino, anticipate yung hard ball. So, kailangan naka-ready kayo, hindi na pwede naka-relax. Ano tayo?
Kaya.
To Ayana Perlas for her report. Go ahead, Ayana.
In the last game, he admits that it was not his best, but it's his comeback game. Ben San Andres is ready for revenge. Now, to tell you more about Ben San Andres, or Barbie of VNS, I want to let you guys know that he actually started playing volleyball back in 2014. But he was hesitant kasi sabi niya sa akin na masyado daw siyang mapayat and frail para sa training and takot pa daw siya sa bola. Now, his push to join volleyball was actually his high school intramurals, where he fell in love with the sport. I also asked him how he feels about being compared to Louis Gamban, the UAAP's Barbie, and he is nothing but flattered, as he and Gamban actually used to be teammates and are good friends. Back to you guys.
Well, we sure learned a lot from Barbie San Andres, as he likes to be called. And do you think there are similarities between him and Louis Gamban?
The swag is definitely there.
I would love to see a showdown, a swag showdown between these two players. Speaking of San Andres, too strong of a serve puts Navy in the lead. Score now is 9-8. And this might just be that momentum shift that Navy has been waiting for. Off the block.
That slide attack still working for Ishpolvorosa and Kim Malabunga. It's a tight second set we're seeing right now, Billy. And when we cross that midpoint mark, that's the time hopefully one of these teams would establish their own lead.
We'll see which team pulls away first. Another great block by VNS. Oh, that is a point for Navy.
There was a net violation called on Kim Malabunga.
There was an early celebration on the part of VNS, but not so fast. Let's take a look at it again, just to get a clear picture of what happened. Ball stays.
Tough angle.
And play continues. Great cover there by Cruz. Overcooks that one again. It's been a tug of war here in our second set, Neil. Could go either way, but as you said, we're gonna wait for that halfway point. (11 serving 9). Polvorosa gives it to Montemayor. Back to Montemayor. That is another attack error for VNS. Puntos para sa Navy. As VNS will call a timeout, let's listen in.
Kung walang tayo na magandang receive ulit, kasi paulit-ulit lang naman yun yung nangyayari. Pag maganda yung receive natin, okay mo, tignan nyo muna kung saan yung receive, tsaka kung paano isi-set yung bola. Nangyayari ka, pasok kayo agad at na-anticipate mo na dun agad yung set, paano kung yung receive din naman sumak.
Sige, go. Balik tayo, bawiin natin. Go!
Yes!
It is now a 3-point lead for PGJC Navy Sea Lions contra VNS. Billy Capistrano with Neil Flores and Ayana Perlas, our courtside reporter. So what can you say about this second set so far, Neil? How does it differ from our first set?
Right now, Montemayor is having a difficult time getting his range on that right wing for VNS. That's why nahihirapan siyang pumuntos, and Navy is starting to establish their offense better.
Good defense there. That will go to VNS. Let's take a look at that. A replay.
Mendoza winning that joust. That was the wrong direction to go to. Talking about Liok. Dahil when you are at a joust near the antenna, the trajectory should be dun sa kanan, not
The
sa
other
left
side,
side.
oo.
Kasi mas malaki yung space dito sa left side para bumalik yung bola compared to that area near the antenna.
3-point lead now. 13 to 10. Make that 11 to 13.
Sea Lions holding on to a 2-point lead. That's a slim margin.
Serving 13. Casanya.
Liok from the combination play in the middle. Lefty pala tong opposite spiker ng PGJC Navy. So iba pa yung dynamic when you're blocking a left-handed player.
It's much more difficult.
It is,
Yes.
because it's hard to guard yung mga tendency nila, and may mga stronger angles sila na super acute yung yung direction.
tulis, yes.
Super tulis.
But now, 2-point lead remains here for PGJC Navy. They're doing much better than that first set. Found their groove. Casanya will go to Rosales. Running attack is good.
It's been a while since we last saw that play. They've been going to their left wings a lot. And now, Jao Mandal will come back.
He is well rested and ready to go. Marcelino will take a quick break. Agulong will also come in. 3-point lead for Navy. Greg Dolor will serve. Umandal. And that is a point for Umandal off the bench.
Lucky point for Jao Mandal. It was just a push, but that gives Navy their 4-point lead here in the second technical timeout.
At the third place, and VNS trailing behind. 2 wins, 2 losses for them.
Yes, again, we only have one semifinals ticket left to give, so it's gonna be up to VNS. And as we say, nasa kamay nila yung kapalaran nila if they get one more win. And that would probably be their best finish if they enter the semifinals.
And that's what the VNS faithful are definitely hoping for. A victory today will secure them a slot in our semis. And that will be another point for VNS.
That was actually a good set from Jao Mandal. You would see that a lot in the international scene of men's volleyball. Na the wing hitter would go
Sila
for an
nagsiset.
attack, but last minute they would change it up and set it to that middle or the pipe attack. But Rosales wasn't ready for that.
So parang may deception na nangyayari. Mandal proving to be well-rested nga naman talaga in our second set, coming off the bench here.
Pwede mo siyang ipahinga, but the Sea Lions need their best scorer on the floor.
Especially if you want to win this game. that is outside.
Umandal wanted to push that off the hands of Polvorosa, but Polvorosa knew it.
14 serving 17. San Andres kind of quiet here in our second set as compared to the previous one. They go to Amandala again. Puntos na naman para sa Navy.
It's a very error-prone second frame for the Griffins. There will be a substitution. Gonzalvo will be replacing Montemayor.
Navy now asserting their dominance in this game that they weren't able to do in the first set. So you gotta see how VNS will adapt to the sudden shift of direction. Great hustle being shown by Navy. Point for Navy again.
That ball didn't go over for Gonzalvo, and this is already the biggest lead for the Sea Lions here in the second frame. A 5-point lead as Coach Ralph Ocampo calls for time.
Guys, restart lang tayo. Huwag i-pressure yung bawat isa, okay? Trabaho lang tayo ng maayos, nagkakamali. Marami tayong error ngayong second set na kailangan natin ayusin. Kailangan natin aralin yung sistema natin ng maayos, ha? Nag-error tayo, pero wag kayo ma-pressure, ha? Go lang tayo, go tayo.
Go, 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 bye, 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 bye.
So let's take a look at that last play before the timeout.
Great save from Kalingking. Such control. At dahil may mga obstacles,
Kailangan talaga ng
kailangan
control.
ng control.
Let's get back to this game. Play continues. And of course, we gotta credit Peter Kiel for that.
They were already saying that the hit from Malabunga did not go over. Now another substitution will be made. Mangolapnan will be setting for the Griffins, and Ish Polvorosa will go to the bench.
Casanya serving. Mangolapnan. A little hesitation. Puntos para sa VNS. That was a net touch violation. And we got more substitutions for the Griffins. Montemayor comes in. Mendoza for Pagulong as well. Now a 5-point lead here in our second set. For those who just watched, VNS is in the lead of this game. They won that first set. Jao Mandal!
This time, Jao Mandal hitting from the right pin. Malabunga was late para maisarado yung cross-court gap na yon. And now VNS is also having difficulties on their reception.
And Mendoza is blocked.
But that goes outside, so that's still a point.
Oh, that is still a point for VNS. They're trying to play catch-up here, Neil, here in our second set.
And that was the main instruction of Coach Ralph Ocampo. Do not pressure yourselves.
Right.
Let's get that first pass. Because every time they get to improve the efficiency in that reception, ang daming magandang nangyayari for VNS. But a botched by play for Mangolapnan
will further the lead of Navy here. And you can see, obviously, Coach Ralph not too happy with that one. Dolor. That is a block.
Adviento getting the timing on point. Again, pag mataas yung binablock mo, you have to give them an allowance of time na mauna before you go for that defensive block.
17 serving 22. And that is something you don't want to see, or you don't want to make if you are trying to play catch up with the other team. 23 Navy, VNS at 17. They find San Andres, challenging the blocker. Casanya, pupuntahan si Dolor. And he'll try a second time around. And it's blocked.
Back-to-back blocks for the Griffins. Sometimes Mendoza would occupy that opposite hitter position just for blocking, and it worked again.
What a great connection that we're seeing now from Casanya and Rosales in that play.
Just unstoppable every time he goes for that slide attack against Ben San Andres.
Set point here for Navy at the cusp of getting set number 2. They go to Omandal. Great pancake. San Andres. Chance here for VNS. Joust at the net. We got a rally going on here, but straight to the net. Attack error will give this set to the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. We're now tied 1 set apiece.
PGJC Navy just regaining control here in
Spikers Turf Open Conference, VNS won Alicia Griffins versus the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. 18-25 in favor of Navy was our score in that second set. So complete opposite lang yung nangyari sa teams natin in that second set, Neil.
Yeah, and we knew that PGJC Navy would definitely come back in set number 2 after they made those in-game adjustments. Pinahinga ng konti si Jao Mandal, but nothing changed. Navy still got to establish their lead. We were tied at 9-all before they made their own run, and they were able to make good adjustments, definitely in blocking, kasi in set number 1, VNS had that edge, but set number 2, they were able to equalize and neutralize the attackers of VNS by serving hard. Bumaba ulit yung efficiency ng receiving ng VNS, that's why they lost set number 2. And you can see that VNS gave 4 more errors compared to the Navy. And as I said a while ago, it was a very error-prone set for VNS.
So they gotta do better this time around here in our third set, because they cannot let Navy get away with all that momentum. There's a drastic shift in that momentum that happened in our second set.
Right now, leading scorers for VNS would be Malabunga with 7 points, and Ben San Andres also with 7. For Navy, it's Jao Umandal with 8 and Greg Dolor with 7.
Partida nakapahinga pa yan.
Yeah.
The second set, di masyadong naglaro in the first half of that set. Well, much needed rest for him. And much better energy being shown by Navy. And you can't give Navy that confidence to run away with this win, Neil. Now, for those who just tuned in and aren't aware, VNS just needs one win to get into that semifinals. They also have another game on Tuesday that'll be against Army. But you're talking about it a while ago. You wanna get that win right now.
Yeah.
Para hindi na mahirapan pa.
And para makahinga ka na rin ng
Yes.
malalim to take that
You don't
unnecessary
wanna,
pressure
yes, you don't wanna prolong
off your shoulders.
the agony. But if you're Navy, you want to close out this this preliminary round strong. You want to enter that semifinals on a high note. You want to keep racking up wins.
The referees are just making sure na tama yung mga rotation for both of these teams. That's why there's a little bit of a lull time.
Bit of a delay, but here comes Benson Andres, and he will prepare to serve and welcome us to our third set. San Andres. And we are welcomed by an attack error. For those who saw the stats a while ago, they had quite a lot of errors in that second set that they don't want to repeat and bring here in our third one.
Half of the points, they actually just gave that up.
And that's what we see more of.
The cleanest hit so far for Montemayor. He has been struggling in getting his numbers here in this game.
They're tied at 1 as Ishpol Verosa serves straight to the net. Again, those errors just plaguing VNS.
Itong 2 points ng Navy actually came from the errors of VNS. And VNS already has 6 service errors in the entire ball game compared to the 3 of the Philippine Navy.
And much needed point from Kim Malabunga.
You have a great talent in the setter's position for VNS. So every time you give him that pass na hindi na siya gumagalaw, that's the time that he can get the blockers confused.
Here comes Greg Dolor. And we love the sound effects that our players make. That's why it's much more enjoyable if you watch live.
Yeah.
You can really feel that heat and the enjoyment coming from our players. As Polvorosa will give it to Mendoza. So both teams having a lot of fun right now. Pretty obvious with their body language.
And now that we're tied at 1 set apiece, we all know that itong set number 3 talaga yung mag-swing ng momentum in the right direction for any of these teams.
Great coverage there by VNS. They go to San Andres. They're saying it's outside, and it is.
San Andres clearly bothered by the block established by the Sea Lions. And you're right, medyo natahimik yung production itong si Ben San Andres.
Haven't been seeing much from him this time. They'll go to the other side. But Mendoza is blocked. Two-point lead now for Navy as our team captain will serve 5, serving 3. Dolor with 8 points under his belt in today's game. That was Peter Kiel. doing his job. Getting one for Navy.
Peter Kiel finally recognizing the strategy of Ish Polvorosa, going to a lot of reverse settings. While ago, it was just a single block from Jao Mandal. This time, nakahabol na si Peter Kiel, which provided a more stable defense.
It's a good adjustment there from Kiel, much needed. Here comes Umandal. Gets another one.
After getting 2 kill blocks, let's add one more point from the offense, courtesy of Jao Mandal. And this is what I've been saying. Now, once they get their groove on, it's easy to get, or it's easy to string up 3 or 4 consecutive points for the Sea Lions.
It's all systems go for Navy, as you can see. San Andres. Chance here for VNS. Who will they go to? They go to, of course, San Andres. Umandal. Polvorosa. Babalik kay Ben. Off the block for Ben San Andres.
VNS has to really get these transition chance balls perfectly papunta kay Ish Polvorosa. 2 times, medyo short eh. That's why Ish Polvorosa is forced to set it to the left wing. Not much combination play there for the Griffins, but it's a good thing that Ben San Andres was able to hit it out of the hands of the blockers.
And another service error for VNS. As we go to our first technical timeout, Navy in the lead 8-4.
Hirapan tayo yung ano.
Guys, huwag nyo targetin yung short ball. Targetin nyo ng dulo.
Karga tayo. Yung pinractice natin, yun ang gawin natin. So tayo.
Pag hindi tayo makapag-serve, pag hindi tayo makakapag-serve.
Isa pa yun, guys. Kailangan yung first attack natin, nahirapan tayo. Malaki yung block nila eh. Ibig sabihin nun yung receive natin, hindi nakakapwesto yung mga spiker, gandahan pa natin. Although nakakaangat naman, try pa rin gandahan yung receive natin. Ha? Huwag natin hirapan lang yan. Sa isa tayo, ha?
Oy, tara! Go! Hey, go,
Greg Delor showing nothing but hustle in the last set for the Navy Sea Lions. And let me tell you, he is the exact same way off the court. Now, being the team captain for the Navy Sea Lions, the team described Delor to be a vocal, responsible, and persevering captain. And siya daw talaga yung nagpupush sa teammates niya to do extra work every after training. And without him, they wouldn't be as strong as they are today. Now, Delor reminded the team to stay humble coming into today's game, even after that big win, and to keep that underdog mindset. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that, Ayana. It's very obvious that Greg Delor always shows that sense of stability for his team.
You always start by example, and I think he is the perfect example of that.
And how a team captain should be. He's vocal on the court. Again, a steady presence for Navy. As we get back to this game, it is a 3-point lead for Navy. Make that a 2-point lead. And si Ish, parang may nasabi kay Jao.
Kumuway daw. Kumuway lang siya.
Tignan natin ulit.
That was a block from Kim Malabunga.
Ish being Ish, of course. All fun and games here at the Spikers Surf Open Conference. Lahat naman yan magkakilala, diba?
Yeah. They're definitely friends off the court.
Off the court. They're just having fun. And that's what we love to see, the camaraderie between our teams. 3-point lead now for Navy. Pati nga si Jao natawa na lang din eh.
You can expect Jao to actually ask for the next ball para makabawi.
Yan for sure. No doubt about it. Back to a 4-point lead now for Navy here in our third set. Polvorosa will go to San Andres. That was a clean hit. Clean attack for Ben.
Navy has been targeting Ben San Andres on the receiving end, making him work so hard for each and every point. Siya na yung re-receive sa sa kanya pa isa-set ni Ish Polvorosa, and that's really the job of an outside hitter.
One of the hardest working people on the court right now. Again, with a running attack, so effective.
Still no answer for that slide attack of Rosales.
Tried and tested. Take a look at that.
Rosales pushing that ball over, and there was a huge space, donut hole in the middle of the defense of the Griffins.
4-point lead, Polvorosa. And the power on that one, Montemayor.
Right now, siguro, pag na-activate na itong si Kevin Montemayor on the scoring end of things, that's the time na magkakaroon ng panibagong momentum yung VNS. Kasi ito yung 1-2 punch ng Griffins. It's Montemayor and San Andres.
Absolutely. But Greg Dolor has an answer to that as well.
How
We're
do
just
you-
talking about it, the team captain.
How do you even stop that? I mean, Kim Malabunga was right there. He knew that Greg Dolor was going for that hit from the left pin. But still no touch on the block. Ganun kataas tumalon itong si Greg Dolor.
And we love the confidence, you know, that we're seeing from Greg Dolor right now. And again, another attack error for VNS. 5-point lead. Coach Ralph, again, not happy. Well, they had, you know, that momentum shift already. Could have gone their way completely. But it's just these errors that they can't seem to stop.
And when the Spikers turf started, and when we saw the lineup of VNS, people were actually expecting
Yes.
na experienced team na. But little do they know that some of the players on the floor are very young.
Right.
Mendoza, Montemayor, and Ben San Andres, very young. So in terms of experience, definitely lamang itong Navy Sea Lions.
And I believe Ish said in one of the interviews that they've only been practicing for a couple of months, unlike a lot of our teams here who have been together for quite a while.
But
So that's a big factor as well, that chemistry.
And they started off the conference with back-to-back wins.
Another point for Navy.
Aside from the battle of attackers, it's also a battle of the setters. Polvorosa already has 16 excellent sets, and Casania has 11 under his name.
It's getting to be a bit, you know, going to the way of Navy here. The lead is getting a bit bigger, but that point will go to VNS.
Great hit from Montemayor. He got blocked a while ago by Greg Dolor, but this time around he made sure that he hit in that proper angle.
Again, with impeccable attacks coming from Navy as we go to our second technical timeout. Navy in the lead, 16-10. Exciting game, especially if you love watching UAAP volleyball, kind of like a preview of what's to come. As we get back to this game at hand, VNS versus Navy. Tied with one set apiece, 16-10 is our score. Navy in the lead, make that a 5-point lead. Service error from Dolor to welcome us back.
Pagulong will be replacing Mendoza once again on that service line to try to get a point.
Lumalamang na ang Navy dito sa ating third set. And that goes outside for Pagulong.
As I said, it's a very tough job. It's a hit or miss.
Yeah, madaming pressure din. I mean, you come off the bench, you go straight to the service line, and you're expected to make it. Single block by Jao Mandal. And you know, we love the stare downs. We love the stare downs because we know that hindi naman seryoso, di ba?
And tamed version
Yes.
pa to Billy.
Let's listen to this timeout called by VNS.
Tayo eh. Kumbaga, effective naman yung gameplay natin, pero yung discarte na lang ng spiker yung kailangan natin mag-improve. Or minsan, kung for example, nakulong ka, sabihin mo, sa baonte, para maka-discarte ako. Kasi yun na lang yung magiging discarte mo, yun yung last resort. Hindi kasi pwedeng ang discarte nyo lang, pagpapalo kayo, isa lang. Kailangan marami kayong discarte, ha? Maging mas smart pa tayo,
Ano
ha?
tayo? Uplift natin isa't isa. Kaya pa
Go
natin
tayo,
yun
go
eh.
tayo,
Go
go
tayo,
tayo.
Now, Neil, Coach Ralph was talking about Descarte a lot in that huddle. So, how does Descarte come into play when you're playing volleyball?
A while ago, he was giving instructions to his outside hitter. I know that the fans weren't able to hear the technical timeout, but he was saying na lumalabas yung immaturity ng young players on the
Right.
floor because every time you go up for a hit, that's the only time we have to make a decision. But sometimes, alam mo na agad na, dito ako pupunta kahit anong mangyari, I will be going to this zone 1 area or that cross court. And that cannot or that should not happen when you are facing veterans.
Right.
Kasi they have their zones locked in already. Kaya kailangan last-minute decisions should always be on point.
Kailangan hindi doubt rin yung sarili. I mean, because they are so young. And going up against tried and tested veterans in the likes of Jao Mandal and Greg Dolor. And if you're in college facing these players, it could be a little daunting. But take a look at that. This Navy team putting out all the stops here in our third set. Attack points, 9 for VNS, 7 for Navy. Good cover. They go to San Andres. He is blocked. They go to Omandal.
Too eager on
Doesn't
that
go
one.
over. Let's take a look at that again.
Didn't get the proper approach on that hit and wanted to target the hands of Ishpol Vorosa para makabawan.
Gagante. Gagante daw. We'll see. He'll do that again. He might do that again. Back to this game. Good set.
That was such a fast set from EJ Casanya. That shoot, reverse setting, papunta sa slide attack.
Didn't even see it coming.
And even Rosales wasn't able to hit that properly sa sobrang bilis nung set, but still managed to get that point back papunta sa Navy. Now it's a 7-point lead for the Sea Lions.
It is a pretty comfortable lead for Navy. Umandal now with 11 points. He goes up for the serve. That is outside. We have substitutions for VNS. Mendoza comes in. 14 serving 20. Here comes Ish. The service errors for Ish Polvorosa has been somewhat of a problem as well. Even in that previous game, Neil.
In that first set against the Nationals, they were at set point already when Ish Polvorosa committed that unforced error on
And that
the
was
line.
a downward spiral for VNS. Polvorosa. Good dig. They go to Dolor. Unstoppable. Talk about Greg Dolor. Grabe yung pagtalon, yung elevation, athleticism of this guy.
And wala nga masyadong combination plays on the side of
Very
Philippine
simple,
Navy. It's
yes.
very simple, but the execution really...
That is excellent volleyball. And you know, there's some players who are just meant to be volleyball players.
Yeah.
And it's him. Polvorosa. And he was met, Montemayor was met by Dolor right at the net.
The vertical jump of Greg Dolor is already high in itself, but when he gets that powerful arm swing of transition, lalo pang tumataas yung reach niya.
Take a look at that clean block. Let's listen in to a timeout called by VNS.
Kailangan na pressure eh. Kalma lang muna tayo. Pressure. Kung walang tayo, hanapin nga yung laro nyo ha. Go tayo ha. Tara tayo.
Tara guys! Tara!
VNS!
Right, VNS at 14, Navy at 23. Trying to finish this set. Pretty big lead here for Navy. We are talking about the height of Greg Dolor. And he's 5'11". Not even in the, hindi man ng 6, diba? Or 6'1", 5'11". Pero grabe yung pagtalon. At that elevation is incredible. And now 23-15. Substitutions for VNS. Adviento comes in. Doria will go back to the bench. Again, Greg Dolor powering it through. No stopping him today.
Probably the first time they went to a combination play from the middle, and it was even checked by the blockers of VNS, but the support in that back row nowhere to be found for the Griffins. And that will give Navy their first set point.
Other side naman, Polvorosa was there. They give it to Montemayor. Picked up by Kalingking. Umandal from the back row. Puntos para sa VNS. Flies out.
No check ball called. But it's a very comfortable 8-point lead.
And looks like it's going to go to Navy.
Yeah.
So if you're VNS, you just want to finish this one strong. You do what you have to do. Dolor, soft touch, no go. They go to San Andres. Lorenzo.
Ooh.
That is a point for Mendoza.
That was a nice set towards the opponent though. So Mendoza will get that point off that set from Lorenzo. Still, Navy in a good position to take set number 3.
They go back to Dolor. And it's so fitting that Greg Dolor finishes the set because, well, this set was all about him and what he could do. And we gotta take a look at that again here on our replay.
DJ Casanya identifying the hottest hand on the floor right now. Medyo backseat muna si Jao Manda, but no problem with that. Greg Dolor taking charge in set number 3.
17:25, magbabalik po ang Spikers Center, Billy Capistrano with Ishpol. Sorry, that was Neil Flores, but Ishpol Verosa is on the court, of course, leading and orchestrating the plays for VNS 1 Alicia. Now, let's talk about that set number 3. And what an amazing performance from Navy. They won that set, 17-25. Nag-shift yung momentum early on. It seemed to be a pretty close set in the first half of it. But Navy just went away with that set. As we take a look at our team stats, we got VNS 1 Alicia and PGJC Navy 25-17, 10-11. And look at the blocks, yung discrepancy napakalaki, 6-1. No service aces for both our squads, and opponent errors. We have 8 for VNS and PGJC Navy with 6. So medyo patas lang naman in terms of that opponent errors, but as I was saying, take a look at those blocks, Neil.
5 more blocks for PGJC Navy, and nobody, walang gumagana dun sa wing spikers right now for VNS 1 Alicia. And Greg Dolor has been taking charge, not just on offense, but also defensively, Billy. Yung blocking niya, a lot of single blocks. And again, he's just trying to give this win to the Sea Lions.
Now for VNS, it is now or never here in this game. They gotta get this set if they want to extend it to a 5th one. And if they get that 5th one, and if they win, they will advance to the semis and secure their slot. But syempre, Neil, if you're the other teams who are trying to also get that slot, you wouldn't want that to happen.
Yeah. Actually, the other teams found in the bottom of our standings are actually hoping na matalo itong VNS in their next game aside from this one, so that they can get a chance to challenge based on our quotient system.
And VNS will be playing Army in their game on Tuesday. So if they drop this game, it's really going to be do or die for them against Army. We have Ishpol Verosa. And siya yung natawag ko kanina, and he is here. It's a good battle of the setters as well, as you've mentioned. 2 great setters we're having. And right off the bat, explosive 4th set. Here comes Greg Dolor. Off the block.
Just unstoppable. I mean, I have no words.
You have your
Wala na akong masabi
you have
talaga,
your
Billy.
good days, but this is a great day for him in terms of him playing volleyball, him showing us what he can do.
I mean, he can go above the blockers, he can go off
Do
the hands of the
everything,
blockers.
yes. And he's trying to switch it up as well for his team. We're tied at 1 apiece. Ishpol Verosa. Peter Kiel with a quick.
And sa sobrang efficient ng mga wing hitters ng Navy right now, kahit hindi masyadong nabibigyan ng sets yung middle blockers, it's okay.
There's no pressure on the side of Navy, but they're still balling out here. That is a point for VNS.
VNS will need all their players to really give their best performance here in set number 4. You don't want to give PGJC Navy another 5, 6, 7, 8 point lead.
Jao Mandal. Ball is still alive. That will go to Navy. And what happened there, Neil?
There was a net violation called on VNS, but the first attempt of Jao Mandal based on my angle lang, Bailey, that ball didn't go over, so VNS was asking for that call from the second referee.
But the call stays, and oh wow, great timing by Rosales. The first time we're not seeing him with a running attack. Peter Kiel serving. They go to Benson Andres. And to Omandal, attack error.
too low on that hit.
Gives a free point to VNS, much to the delight of the blue shirts. And even with that approach, alam mong masyado nang malakas yung serve ni Montemayor, and even he knew it.
You just have to pull back a little bit on the first serve. If that ball goes in, then the second serve, that's the time that you inject more force.
That was Benson Andres using the blockers of Navy. It is a 1-point lead.
3-man block, no problem for Benson Andres in that last sequence.
Na Barbie daw ang gusto niyang itawag sa kanya.
You will respect that.
Hello, Mandal. Ciao, Mandal.
What a hit! Piping hot.
Tapos parang wala lang eh, no? Walang reaction, nothing. Just another day in the office for Jao Mandal. Nothing out of the ordinary for him. I mean, you are the best scorer in terms of our rankings in the league right now. Polvorosa. A lucky point for VNS. Well, they'll get everything or whatever they need. Any point that they can. However it's made.
Doesn't matter. A point is a point. There's no 2 point, 3 points in volleyball. So
especially if you need this set and you need this win. 2-point lead now. Make that a 1-point lead. Those errors just halting that energy. Now it's back to a 2-point lead. And Malabunga has been silent now here in this game. Polvorosa. Pupuntahan si San Andres. Back to Dolor. Different approach. And that is a point for EJ Casanya.
Baliktad yung kamay ni Montemayor to get that dig.
8-5 with Navy in the lead.
Ang moral ng VNS, especially with their errors. They're having a hard time uplifting themselves and this will not be good for them. Di porket bata kayo, di kayo makakasabay, ang sabi ni Assistant Coach JP de Guzman in the huddle. And in the first set, they were able to do their blocks and attacks efficiently, which Head Coach Ralph told them to mirror in this set if they want to push this to a 5-setter. Don't let the pressure get to you. Kaya nyo yan is how the huddle ended. Back to you guys.
Thank you for that, Ayana. And they definitely cannot let the pressure get to them at this point in our conference. At this point in the game, Navy now leading this game 2-1. Coach Ralph on your screens. Babalik kay Delor, hot hands, no go, Polvorosa. That was Young Mendoza from the back.
I just want to go back to your previous point a while ago, Billy. You were saying that Kim Malabunga is a little bit quiet. And the main reason for that is that bitin talaga yung digs and receives ng VNS at times. So even if Ish Polvorosa wants to set up Kim Malabunga, it would be foolish to do so kasi alanganin na, ipipilit pa. That's why they're forced to go to their wings right now. And that error will give Navy another 4-point lead.
So everything, really just ties in together. You need to have that good reception, the good digging, which will translate to better setting and being able to activate your spikers.
And that has been the recurring point of Coach Ralph Ocampo, because he knows that when they get a clean pass, natatranslate to a clean transition offense play also. But there were a lot of times in the previous set na chance ball na yung bigay sa kanila or hindi ganun kalakas yung hits ng Sea Lions, pero bitin pa din yung reception. But Montemayor gising na, and this is what we want to see from this young kid.
VNS, they really have to step on the gas at this point. Ish will serve. 2-point lead now in favor of Navy. But if you got quick attacks like that from Peter Kiel, it's going to be a bit harder for the Griffins. Navy now just really composed, playing with a lot of confidence. And that's why they are one of the title contenders here.
The fact that they are the only team so far to defeat the HD Spikers
says a lot.
Is a statement in itself. And they were playing one man down, Billy. Walang Joven de la Vega, but still carved out that win. And they got to take advantage of a misfiring signal squad talaga in that game.
But speaking of signal, they won their previous game against Ateneo, if I'm not mistaken, 3 straight sets. As we get back to this game, Umandal. Chance here for Navy. They go back to Umandal.
One of the big improvements na nakita ko talaga kay Jao Umandal is that precision when it comes to attacking. There was a time that he would always go for all power, but this time he knows kung alanganin yung set, he knows what zone to target. Alam niya kung ano yung specific kind of power lang na kailangan ibigay.
And credit that to his experience in Bahrain, as well as training with the national team. Actually, Noreen Go and I were talking about it. He used to be the shadows of players like Mark Espejo and the like, and now he's really coming into his own here in our open conference. Powerful plays from both our teams. They'll try again. Picked up by Dolor. They go to Umandal. Bensa address. Inabangan ni Rosales. That is a point. There is a violation, net touch violation.
And Umandal knew that he
and he
clipped the net.
acknowledged it. Three-point lead now for Navy. VNS still hanging on. And that was Leok off the block.
All the substitutions right now for Navy just working to their advantage. Wala si Marcelino on the floor. Leok is there, occupying that opposite hitter position. Pero balanse pa din talaga yung nagiging distribution ni EJ Casanya and Rosales.
Talk about this guy having such a great game for Navy. Ron Rosales, from his blocking to his slide attacks. Take a look at that. Great timing for him. 5-point lead now. San Andres will try and he's blocked. Bumalik sa kanya yung bola doon, Neil. Puntos para sa Navy. They're still in the lead, 16-10.
Hindi ka makakadiskarte. Sa'yo naman, Ben, masyado ka naman nakalabas doon. So, ang diskarte mo na lang is cross-court. Hindi ka makakapagpa-check bola pag ano, kasi nandun ka, maatras. Ano, Ben, relax mo lang to. Relax mo yung ano, yung arms mo. Ang diskarte mo agad check ball. Pwede mo natin pa-check ball palabas. Pwede mo na yung check ball pasingit na gano'n. Check ball yung pa-diretsyon pa gano'n.
Go.
Hindi tayo nakaka-atake.
Kaya pa.
Guys, pag nakapuntos naman tayo, celebrate nyo.
We're back and you're still watching the 2022 Spikers Turf Open Conference, and what a set we're having for Navy. That was a massive block. Take a look at that. Full coverage. Bumalik kay Benson Andres yung bola. Of course, he brushes it off.
Yeah. Height is not everything in the sport of volleyball, but syempre,
It is an advantage,
it
definitely.
is a definite advantage when you're a shorter attacker, when you try to get past the defense of taller teams. You would have to give more effort in thinking talaga kung paano ka pwedeng makalusot.
At doon, you know, that's where the discarte comes in. As we get back to our game at hand, we have some substitutions for VNS.
It's the same substitution that they've been going to. Pagulong, serving. And first time magkakaroon ng double substitution ulit itong
Navy.
PGJC Navy. Entig and Hairami will come in.
So fresh legs for Navy. We'll see what contributions they have up their sleeves for us here in this game. Pagulong, the service specialist for VNS. Umandal from the other side. San Andres getting through those blockers.
As much as possible, he just has to get it ng pinakamataas na clearance, high and long always when you're a shorter attacker.
4-point lead. Definitely a chance here for VNS to overturn the score. Tough set. That would be a point for VNS, and now it's just a 3-point lead. And you can see on your screens now, but VNS are having a huddle in the middle of the court.
And they would want to take advantage of the substitutions made kasi hindi ito yung original starting unit
So parang
for the Sea Lions.
nangangapapa yung players natin on the court. Hairami and Intig. They go to Jao Mandal.
No way of stopping Jao Mandal. And dumaan din siya sa maraming positions through the years. Before he was a middle blocker, then he transitioned to the wings. So he's a very versatile player in terms of combination plays. You can give him any set and he can actually score from that.
Good performance also from him here. But Benson Andres, great pickup by Kalingking. That was a broken play. Chance here for Navy. Dolor, nandoon si San Andres. It'll go back to him. Dolor again pushes it. Here comes Ben. Good dig by Dolor. We got a great rally going on here for all our fans. Adviento.
Yan yung fluid connection na pwedeng maipakita ng VNS. It was a great dig. I mean, although it was a free ball, maganda yung pasa from Pagulong papunta kay Ishpol Vorosa. Then he finds a way to activate his middle blocker in that rally.
You can also see the hustle of VNS in that sequence. Good communication on the court as well for the Griffins. Greg Dolor, but that is a violation. Two-touch violation. And they will bring back in EJ Casanya. And Tig will sit back down, as well as Hairami. Papasok ulit si Liok.
Magsisigurado na si Coach Cecil Cruzada.
2-point lead now. 15 serving 17. Greg Dolor making his presence felt once again. Sabi niya, parang nakalimutan niyo ata ako. I'm still here.
Time and time again, he has done that. He has hit it over the blockers.
It's back to a 3-point lead. They go to Ben. He is blocked. They go to Ben again. He will try. And this time, he makes sure that he gives his team a point.
That off the block hit will be his best friend talaga for the upcoming games.
They cut it down to a 2-point advantage for Navy. A good serve from Ben. Blink and you could have missed it. I couldn't even see it.
High five from these two middle blockers. Sobrang bilis nung tempo nung B-quick play na yon for Peter Kiel.
Back to a 3-point lead. Polvorosa. Balik sa VNS ang bola. Try again. Clearly outside. Too strong.
VNS is still in this ball game. They're just down by 2 points. And Mendoza will come back in a full front line for the Griffins. They have 3 attackers. 3 good attackers at that in the form of Montemayor, Mendoza, and Malabunga.
And they gotta take advantage of that. It is just a 2-point lead. If they want to stay alive, they gotta do everything it takes. Greg Dolor from the other side. That is a point for VNS. Of course, we got Navy not too happy about that call. But Navy will call a timeout and we should listen in.
Error lang yung score nila, oh. Regroup ulit tayo, guys. Regroup. Kuha tayo ng score, oh.
Huwag tayo mag-game.
Puro error. Error lang.
May pasat na eh.
Huwag na kailangan ilihis. Ipasok nyo lang dun. Walang blocker naman. Pasok nyo lang. Ha? Oh, may isa pa tayong lamang. Pwede tayo. Sino yung servers? Kabila?
Sila.
Kuha tayo ng good receive. Kuha ka ng magandang set para makapatay tayo. Kailangan natin makareceive na lang.
Go, Navy! Yo!
Tara, guys.
So you heard that they need a good set. EJ Casanya has to make sure that happens. A 1-point lead now. Has to be good. Greg Dolor.
Just listening to that timeout of Coach Cecil Cruzada, tama yun eh. You have been unchallenged in attacking dun sa blocking ng VNS. You don't need to avoid the blockers. Even if you collide head-on, you will still have that advantage. Kasi nga, ibabaw ka eh. And Greg Dolor did that.
17 points for him now, Neil. But it's those service errors, those free points that we do not want to see, especially kapag dikit yung score na ganito, 19-20.
Now, he's in the back row for the Sea Lions. It's time for Jao Mandal to step up big time and close this one out for PGJC Navy.
And you can count on Jao to do just that. Right on cue. Ball is kept alive. Monster block right there. Nagpapalakpakan na yung mga tao dito sa Paco Arena. The crowd is loving that.
Great, solid block from Mendoza against the lefty.
They go to Jao again. And he will answer back.
There's still water in the well for Jao Mandal. They just need 4 points to close this out. Pero advantage ang VNS in this rotation. They will be attacking first. So Peter Kell needs to give a heavy serve.
They gotta chase that. It is a no. 2-point lead now for Navy, inching closer, but it's not done yet. And we're gonna listen in to a timeout called by VNS.
Ikaw tayo na maganda. Yun ang kailangan natin gawin. Kailangan natin maka-first attack, ha?
Play 1 tayo.
Ngayon,
Play 1.
para ka-first attack tayo, naging successful first attack natin, magandang ano lang tayo. Magandang serve. Yun lang. Yun lang. Receive. Receive lang tayo na maganda para maka-atake tayo.
Play 1 ha. Play 1. Yung,
Ito tayo.
yung pag binigay sa'yo ng single block, wag mo pilitin. Para mo, palin mo na mabilis. Ha? Kailangan makakuha ka blocker.
Okay lang. Isa pa.
Hey, VNS!
We're now at set number 4. Final moments of set number 4. Montemayor on your screens. And Adviento. And what Coach Ralph said, they need a good receive. Polvorosa.
Clean play from VNS. Perfect pass from San Andres. Great set from Ish Polvorosa. And what a finish for Montemayor.
Out of that timeout, exactly what Coach Ralph said. And this should give them that confidence boost. Good serve. Rosales. Finally an answer for that running attack. They go to Umandal. Off the hands of VNS player. Puntos para sa Navy. 23-21.
Now it's all about choosing your highest percentage.
We got
Close
another
this one out.
Let's take a look at this first. Take a look at that. Jao Umandal delivering. All sides of the court. Everything. Sabi mo nga, he was a very versatile player.
And offensively, he's the best so far here in Spikers Turf.
And he is very deserving to be the best scorer of the league right now. 16 points off 14 attacks, 2 blocks, 7 excellent receptions for Jao Umandal. All-around game for him. But we cannot expect anything less from this guy over here. His team is up by 2 points. They're up by 2 sets to 1. And they also have an assured seat in the semis. VNS, on the other hand, they need to come up with something. Your thoughts on that play, Neil?
Too low on the set, but Adviento could have just pushed that ball over and tried to get an attempt on the block.
We're now at match point. 24 serving 21. They gotta make this. Benson Andres. That was an easy block for Navy.
Just the blocking of Navy. Talagang nagising throughout sets number 2, 3, and 4. They stumbled in set number 1, but still eventually got this win. And that will put VNS in a tight position right now because it's gonna be do or die definitely come Tuesday against RB Katingko if they want to enter the semifinals.
And we did say that their fate was in their hands. Well, unfortunately for them, this game will go to the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Take a look at our set scores: 25-19, 18-25, 17-25.
2, that was VNS 1 Alicia Griffins versus the PGJC Navy Sea Lions, with the Navy Sea Lions coming out victorious in 4 sets. And joining me now is the best player of the game. We have team captain Greg Dolor. Congratulations, Greg. Kamusta naman yung game?
Yun, enjoy lang namin yung game para manalo. Yun talaga yung susi namin.
Yes, syempre. Pero of course, Greg, kailangan ko itanong, syempre ikaw yung team captain, ikaw yung nakakaalam kung ano ba yung good sides and bad sides of your team. So I wanna know, ano ba yung mga improvements na kailangan nyo pang gawin as a team, especially now na nasa semifinals na kayo?
Siguro yung more on gel pa as a team talaga. Yung hindi siya magkanya-kanya. Yung parang, yung sa setter is, kung hindi ito siya effective, yung may ibang players na gagana, parang ganun. Yun pa dapat yung mas i-develop pa namin.
Yes, definitely. More on team chemistry daw, sabi ni Greg. But of course, Greg, in every game, syempre, meron kayong motivation. So I wanna know, ano ba yung main motivation ng team in every match?
Siguro yung mapasok na ng semifinals. Kasi yung bawat isa sa amin, gustong manalo. Kumbaga, isa-isahin muna namin semifinals, para makapasok na semifinals. Then bagong usapan ulit pag pangat ng pangat.
Yes, of
Ganun
course.
siya.
And syempre, naatubag nila yung goal nila to get into the semifinals for Spikers Turf Open Conference 2022. Of course, Greg, do you have anyone that you wish to greet, family and friends?
Binabati ko yung family ko sa Pangasinan, sa Zambales, yung misis ko, tsaka yung dalawang anak ko. Then yung Philippine Navy community na sumusuporta sa amin. Then sa Global Remit Macau, kay Tita, Ping, then maraming salamat. Yun.
Yes, congratulations and thank you once again to Team Captain Greg Dolor of the PGJC Navy Sea Lions. Back to the panel.
Thank you.
There you have it, Greg Dolor with Ayana Perlas. And what an amazing performance for him in this game, Neil. I mean, the team captain, we were saying a while ago that he really leads by example. At tama naman talaga yung ginawa niya kanina. He was very vocal on the court. He was motivating his teammates and he led his team to this victory.
And I would say that this was probably the best performance so far for Greg Dolor dahil nakikita natin si Jao Mandal always leading the scoring picture for the PGJC Navy, but it was just a different ball game for Greg Dolor.
And take a look at the set 4 highlights and what a set that was. You know, humabol itong VNS 1 Alicia Griffins. We saw a lot of bright spots for them, sparks of brilliance, but in the end, nanalo lang talaga itong Navy because of the composure that they had.
Again, EJ Casanya doing a splendid job in distributing the balls to his attackers, identify kung saan ba sila pinakamataas na chance makuha ng mga points, and that's why they had 15 attack points and 3 blocks. And I would say that yung blocking nila really dictated the pace of this game. They were able to lock down on Ben San Andres and Kevin Montemir. That's why they have a very difficult time in converting their attack points.
Now let's take a look at our match summary. What numbers stand out to you the most, Neil?
Again, for every team na medyo hirap in the blocking department, they would try to make up for it in the digging, and VNS had more digs compared to PGJC Navy. But even though they did well defensively on that end, the 50 attacks of Navy just overwhelmed the defense of VNS 1 Alicia.
And of course, the volleyball action does not stop because we have another exciting game coming up next at 5:30 p.m. But first, take a look at this. Ateneo Fujibar Blue Eagles will be going up against the NU Santa Elena Nationals. The battle of the college rivals is coming to the Spikers Turf Open Conference. And that is it for our first game on behalf of One Sports. My partner Neil Flores, Ayana Perlas, our director Koyo Panco, our game producer Nick Earnshaw, our executive producer Ada Carlos Bayuga, and everybody behind this production. I'm Billy Capistrano, and this has been the Spikers Turf Open Conference.